Hey guys, Danny with Danny Gusson Fitness Podcast. Got our co-host Nico here. We got Tina, the rock behind the scenes, the camera. So today we were doing part 2 of the top client and member questions from February. One of the questions is how much rest do muscles need in between workouts? How do you make time for a healthy lifestyle being a single mother? And how do you know if you're overtraining and what should you do about it? So this theme was more about recovery and lifestyle. Our last podcast, or part 1 of this, was very, very data heavy. So this, lots of numbers, citing research points. This was more of a conversation, which was kind of a nice reprieve from that. And in general, these are all great questions. I always learn from Nico, from whoever my co-host is, Tina, and just even from working through these questions. It always helps me further understand what my actual answer to this is. And I also hear it from you guys, and it helps me further refine my answer, which is only going to help me be better for myself and my clients. So to all our clients asking questions, I do appreciate this because it's an opportunity for us to just get better and better at what we do and also understand you guys better. So thank you for the opportunity to do that. And thank you guys, Tina, Tina. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is round 2, part 2 of our client questions here. And so the last one we did was super data heavy, so I'm excited for this to be a bit more on just the conversational side of things, especially considering some of these questions came from your clients. So the first one is from your client: how much rest do muscles need in between workouts? So I'll let you take this one as you're drinking water, and I'm going to drink water too. Because it's super hot in here.
It's very warm in here. For
if you start seeing beads
weird
of sweat.
reason. So that's different for a lot of different situations. Kind of like the last one we talked about. A lot of different factors
On the protein intake, right?
Yeah. But if the question was just simply how much rest? Okay.
How much rest do muscles need in between workouts?
I know for me, what I do for my clients and for myself and my workouts, I typically, if we're talking about a muscle group, probably at least 24 hours. I don't know what your thoughts are on that for the same muscle group. Of course, a lot of different factors. You can do like higher reps, lower reps, different kind of things like that. But for the most part, I'd say as a base, 24 hours. But, you have to listen to your body. There's been times I know we've talked about before, and we may talk about, I forget today, of like overtraining, but you don't want to do that either. So you got to listen to your body. I myself have noticed lately that I feel like I've been overtraining. So I noticed that I need to dial back a little bit, either a little bit more rest, a little more nutrition.
I'm just going to pour this on my head. It's like a sauna in here.
It literally feels like a sauna. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts to piggyback off that.
Yeah, I think anytime you have these questions, there's always going to be that element of the nuance, the listening to your body through experience. What are you laughing at?
I thought about the sauna thing because I'm literally like, I feel like I'm in a sauna. I'm tingling.
It's pretty odd. So,
sorry.
We're like, what are these guys doing? We're gonna make Andrew Huberman proud.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do an ice bath after this. So I would say, how much rest do muscles need in between workouts? Again, it's a personal answer, but if someone's looking for more of a kind of just a general way
quick
to
answer.
navigate that, I would say a lot of it this isn't a question on, I was about to say it depends on your lifestyle, but this isn't that question. It's just generally, how much rest do you need?
Yeah.
I would say you're going to need less rest if you are younger. So if you are in your teens, your 20s, you're definitely going to need much less rest than someone in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. If you're not sleeping enough, That's going to affect how much you can recover in between your workouts. If you're not getting an adequate enough form of protein just nutrition in general,
Calories, protein, yeah.
then it's going to expand the amount of time you need to work out. How intense you work out is going to play a huge role in how much you're working out. So, for example, someone who does 10 sets for their legs, let's say, is going to need more rest than someone who does 5.
Yeah.
That being said, someone who does 10 reps and really doesn't take too many of those sets close to failure maybe doesn't need as much rest as the person who did 5 really hard sets where almost every set was taking till failure. So intensity is really more relative to volume is an important factor, right? Sets and reps. But I would also say that intensity is almost just as important, if not more important.
I agree.
Because if you're just doing volume without pushing close to your threshold, it's only going to take you so far.
Real quick, because me and Josh, one of the other trainers here, just yesterday, we came in the morning and we were like really tired. We both noticed that on each other. And the day before, we both worked out at the same time we were out there. And we were really like pushing each other, honestly, like piggybacking off each other to the point where we're doing like 5, 6 like heavy sets to failure. And anyways, long story short, we came in the next day and we're like feeling like you got hit by a truck kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we didn't probably rest enough too, like the night before, or it's just you're feeling it that strong the next day. So
which
shows,
it's a great point that you pushed it very close to your threshold.
Yeah.
So you probably couldn't do 24 hours, right? You maybe needed 48 hours rest.
Right.
Sometimes that might even be 36 hours, depending on
that
how
situation,
much you push it.
I think I did take that day off, and I think it was more like a 48-hour type thing.
So there you go. So it's almost like this relationship of however intense you are challenging yourself in your workout multiplied by the amount of volume in your workout.
Yeah.
At the higher that goes, the higher the amount of rest you're going to need. So if you just did some sort of full body workout where maybe you didn't push too close to exhaustion on anything in particular and the volume wasn't that high, you might be able to do that the next day.
Right.
I would still advocate in many cases to give yourself 48 hours rest if you can, but it's not always necessary.
Yeah.
Especially if you are in that aging population. So maybe just to wrap that one up, it would just be, yes, you have to listen to your body. More rest when you're older.
Yeah.
If you're not sleeping enough, if you're not getting enough nutrition. And a lot of that has to also do with how hard you're pushing yourself multiplied by the amount of volume that you're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe start with 24 hours as a minimum and then go from there just based on those factors we just mentioned.
Yeah, and the more experience you have with listening to your body, the easier it is to know if you need more rest, more nutrition, better nutrition, less stress or whatever, however that might look, so.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The more you listen to your body, the easier you'll understand, like, okay, I think I need to get to bed earlier tonight or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes with experience.
Yeah.
Right? Awesome. From Jaylene. So Jaylene's question is, how do you make time for a... I'm only laughing because in some ways I feel like a fraud even trying to answer this question. But there are some behavioral coaching.
Yeah.
Tina, don't laugh at us, Tina, or judge us. How do you make time for a healthy lifestyle being a single mother? Right?
I know the answer to this.
All right.
No, I'm just joking. Like,
yeah.
Because like you said, 2 guys is kind of funny.
Yeah, but the reality is, well, do you have anything you want to say on this?
No, you can start. So
I would just say that, one, I don't know what it's like to being a single mother. That being said, I don't know what it's like to be 400 pounds either, and I could help a 400-pound person lose weight. So I haven't been a single mother. That being said, it obviously, the challenges of being a single mother is that you don't have a lot of time. You have a lot of hats you have to wear, whether it be working, raising your children, whatever else, right? Trying to honor that small little island for you of like helping yourself still be an individual, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot. I know some of these from just talking to my wife, although she's not a single mother. So I think knowing that you're going to have a lot of responsibilities and priorities that you're going to have to balance, and that's going to be very difficult. The number one thing that comes to mind to me is when you're, whatever a healthy lifestyle means to you, Jaylene, start small. Start small. So if where your conscience and is leading you is I want to eat healthier, then maybe just start eating some fruit after a meal, right? Maybe just start eating a banana once per day, right? Ideally with your kids, right? Because if you can make it a family thing, then it's going to be that much more instilled. But if it's exercise, maybe that just starts with 10 squats
Couple
while your
squats,
kids
yeah.
are upstairs changing clothes before school, right? Do something. Start
Doesn't have
small
to
and
be
build
this
from
long
there.
thing. Yeah.
Do it with your kids.
Or do it with your
Like
kids.
you do, Tina.
That's true. That's true, right?
Take them for a walk.
Very
or
true.
do some activity for a bike ride.
Yeah.
Anything you can do with your kids, even a small workout.
Yes.
I like how we have the woman behind the scenes. We're like, no,
She's actually
we've got this one. Me and Nico have got this single mother thing figured out.
Yeah.
But that's a great point, right? Because one of the behavioral coaching strategies that Nico and I are very familiar with from a book that we're both big fans of, Tiny Habits, is making things easier to do, right? And if you have to determine whether or not I spend time with my kids or whether or not I exercise, hey, do them both. That's potentially easier, right? Sometimes it's really all about not adding things to your life as much as it is just modifying the things that you're already doing to making them more manageable, more easy to do.
100%.
Anything else you'd want to add?
No.
That's it. We've got single motherhood figured out. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Tina's gonna kick our butts after the video's over. So the last one is, how do you know if you are overtraining and what you should do about it? So you were just talking about this.
Yeah. More tired than usual. More aches and pains that go past muscle soreness. Although it could just be muscle soreness, like lingering muscle soreness, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe even like it kind of starts getting into the joints and it doesn't.
And that's what I
really-
meant by achy, like more
Yeah.
like achy joints, elbows, that kind of thing. What did I say? I'm tired. Yeah, achy.
Yeah, you said more tired than usual,
Yep.
achy.
Those are I'm just thinking recently off myself with the overtraining. Those are the big ones for me. Anything you want to add?
I would say a lack of enthusiasm.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. So if you are the person who is normally pretty excited about working out, right? And obviously that can wane too. Like if you have to look at trends, right? Because if you slept 4 hours last night, obviously you're not going to be that excited about working out.
For sure.
Right. It's not about one time. That's not what overtraining is. Overtraining is a trend.
Yeah.
So if normally you are the person to feel enthusiastic about your workouts and for whatever reason lately you haven't been, and you also haven't been doing it for months, or if you've been doing it for months, that's another thing too. You just might need to switch it up. But if it's not that, right, then there's a good chance you just might be overtraining.
Yeah.
Right. Tina, what about you? How do you know if you're overtraining?
If you just stop, you're not getting stronger anymore.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, so if you're stuck and you're not getting stronger, that's a sign that your body's just beat down. It's not really, it's like almost someone on the ropes and it can't punch back anymore. So you're not going to be able to get that adequate recovery you need to build back, because that is essential to getting stronger and building muscle. It's giving your body that time it needs to recover, right? Which kind of goes back into our first thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. Overtraining. Sometimes you don't know the answers to questions like how much rest do muscles need in between workouts, our first question, until you've experienced an extreme of it, right? Like you've overtrained. So you know what that feels like. Oh, I tried working out every day for 5 days and did that for 3 weeks. And by the time the third week happened, my body was just breaking down. Well, within whatever context you were doing your routine and your workouts, obviously 24 hours wasn't enough.
Yeah.
right?
And I don't know if you agree, but it can be easy. Again, it comes with experience, but it was tough for me at first, especially again, if you're experienced and you regularly work out for years or whatever, long period of time. It could be easy to overlook like the overtraining or miss it and not realize you're overtraining because I've
Yeah.
gotten caught. Because again, you get caught in the routine of like, oh, this is just what I do is I work out Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
Getting more rigid.
Monday's rolling around and I'm like, okay, I gotta push myself. It's a chest day or whatever. But yeah, you might easily brush by some of these signs of
Yeah.
overtraining. It can be easy to if you're not paying attention enough to it.
Yeah, that's a great point, especially if you're someone who's inexperienced or you're type A, right? Or younger, right? You maybe have these expectations that you should just be able to push through.
Yeah, and like
Right.
we said, like it could be easy to think like, oh, I'm just tired today. Sometimes people say they're tired, then and you're like, why are you tired? And they're like, oh, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever gotten that, but
Definitely.
it could be easy to brush it off like, oh, I'm just tired today, or oh, I'm just a little more sore. Maybe I slept weird or something. But no, it could be like you're overtraining.
Yeah.
Your muscles are beat up.
Yeah, because it's easy, especially, I'm sure a lot of people are prone to this, but it's easy for me sometimes to just say, suck it up, Danny.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like you're
Yeah.
being a wuss right now.
Yeah, especially in today's culture. Yeah.
That being said, I do think that ties back into the trend thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just feeling that one day, then maybe you do need to suck it up, right? But if it's now the trend
Yeah.
of, man, this has been several days in a row that I
Second
just
week
don't
of
want to
it
go
or
in, or
whatever,
second week,
yeah.
first, second week,
Yeah.
right? It's just not really going the way you were hoping
Yeah.
it would be, right?
The trend is a good point to pay attention to if you
Yep.
notice a trend.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you guys. Nico, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Tina, air fist bump. There we go. All right. Thank you guys.